Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On 3rd down, that's Coleman, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll run it with Coleman. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
694.
Shotgun now for Carr. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
29.
From the gun, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense. They affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over. Watch it now, Barney.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. He's going to air one out. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Looking left sideline, incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
6-18.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
7:34. You got 56 there.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. They'll let it go deep for into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
first down carry here for Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
No, check.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20.
7:34.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play that time for the Raiders. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to look really, really well for the guys who threw it.
It's Coleman here. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash it.
Refs blew it.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Cheap.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
First down, Mayfield. Throw left side complete. It's Campbell. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On On second down, Johnson. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Mayfield on first down. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Carr to throw on 2nd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for the Raiders. 43 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And down to the 36-yard line here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch the motion.
2nd down, Mayfield. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone.
Mayfield looks to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Campbell. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. On 1st down, Carr. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He's got a man, complete. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And it's 15-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set, 3-19, 3-19.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Trying to lay one up deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Carr. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Point after, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Hot!
To throw, Mayfield. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Gun! 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 Gun!
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score. Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal. Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Carr. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them. Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point safely through, and the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they? Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right? Unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience. Yeah. You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Campbell. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A first down throw for Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown. And, frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Gun!
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. A big play that time for the Raiders. 49 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
734. 808. Low.
This is Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw, it's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight. And this one is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake. And these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. To the left side here for Eifert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on second down. Carr. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. Third down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
On third and long, it's Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, here's Freeman. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Freeman again. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now Landry. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Oakland, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.